Discovery Communications is going to deliver interactive science content to 60,000 schools, reaching 35 million students. These efforts extend beyond the classroom. Time Warner Cable is joining with the Coalition for Science After School and FIRST Robotics, the program created by inventor Dean Kamen, which gave us the Cougar Cannon to connect 1 million students with fun after-school activities like robotics competitions. The MacArthur Foundation and industry leaders like Sony are launching a nationwide challenge to design compelling, freely available science-related video games. And organizations representing teachers, scientists, mathematicians, and engineers, joined by volunteers in the community, are participating in a grassroots effort called National Lab Day to reach 10 million young people with hands-on learning. Students will launch rockets, construct miniature windmills, and get their hands dirty. They'll have the chance to build and create, and maybe destroy just a little bit, to see the promise of being the makers of things and not just the consumers of things. The administration is participating as well. We've already had a number of science-focused events with young people at the White House, including Astronomy Night a few weeks ago. The National Science Foundation and the Department of Energy, under the leadership of a terrific scientist, Stephen Chu, have launched an initiative to inspire tens of thousands of students to pursue careers in clean energy. And today I'm announcing that we're going to have an annual science fair at the White House with the winners of national competitions in science and technology. You know, if you win the NCAA championships, you come to the White House. Well, if you're a young person and you've produced the best experiment or design, the best hardware or software, you ought to be recognized for that achievement too. Scientists and engineers ought to stand side by side with athletes and entertainers as role models. And here at the White House, we're going to lead by example. We're going to show young people how cool science can be. Through these efforts, we're going to expand the scope and scale of science and math education all across America. And we're going to expand opportunities for all our young people, including women and minorities who too often have been underrepresented in scientific and technological fields, but who are no less capable of succeeding in math and science and pursuing careers that will help improve our lives and grow our economy. I also want to note that this is only the beginning. We're going to challenge the private sector to partner with community colleges, for example, to help train the workers of today for the jobs of tomorrow, even as we make college more affordable, so that by 2020, America once again leads the world in producing college graduates. Now, I have to say to the young people who are here, we can't let students off the hook. In the end, the success of this campaign depends on them. But I believe strongly that America's young people will rise to the challenge if given the opportunity and given a little bit of a push. We've got to work together to create these opportunities because our future depends on them. And I just want to mention the importance not only of students but also of parents. You know, I was in Asia, I think many of you are aware, for a week. And I was having lunch with the president of South Korea, President Lee. And I was interested in education policy. They've grown enormously over the last 40 years. And I asked them, what are the biggest challenges in your education policy? He said, you know, the biggest challenge that I have is that my parents are too demanding. He said, even if somebody is dirt poor, they are insisting that their kids are getting the best education. He said, I've had to import thousands of foreign teachers because they're all insisting that Korean children have to learn English in elementary school. That was the biggest education challenge that he had, was an insistence, a demand from parents for excellence in the schools. The same thing was true when I went to China. I was talking to the mayor of Shanghai. And I asked him about how he was doing recruiting teachers, given that they've got 25 million people in this one city. He said, we don't have problems recruiting teachers because teaching is so revered, and the pay scales for teachers are actually comparable to doctors and other professionals. That gives you a sense of what's happening around the world. There is a hunger for knowledge, an insistence on excellence, a reverence for science and math and technology and learning. That used to be what we were about. That's what we're going to be about again. And I have to say that this doesn't get a lot of focus. Not once was I asked about education policy during my trip by the press. And oftentimes events like this get short shrift. They're not what's debated on cable. But this is probably going to make more of a difference in determining how well we do as a country than just about anything else that we do here. Everyone in this room understands how important science and math can be. It goes beyond the facts in a biology textbook or the questions on an algebra quiz. It's about the ability to understand our world, to harness and train that human capacity to solve problems and think critically, a set of skills that informs the decisions we make throughout our lives. So yes, improving education in math and science is about producing engineers and researchers and scientists and innovators who are going to help transform our economy and our lives for the better, but it's also about something more. It's about expanding opportunity for all Americans in a world where an education is the key to success. It's about an informed citizenry in an era where many of the problems we face as a nation are at root scientific problems. And it's about the power of science to not only unlock new discoveries, but to unlock in the minds of our young people a sense of promise, a sense that with some hard work, with effort, they have the potential to achieve extraordinary things. Now, this is a difficult time in our country, and it would be easy to grow cynical and wonder if America's best days are behind us, especially at a time of economic uncertainty, especially when we've seen so many, from Wall Street to Washington, fail to take responsibility for so long. But I believe we have an opportunity now to move beyond the failures of the recent past and to recapture that spirit of American innovation and optimism. This nation wasn't built on greed. It wasn't built on reckless risk. It wasn't built on short-term gains and short-sighted policies. It was forged of stronger stuff by bold men and women who dared to invent something new or improve something old, who took big chances on big ideas, who believed that in America all things are possible. That's our history, and if we remain fixed on the work ahead, if we build on the progress we've made today, this is going to be our legacy as well. So, with that, just as proof of the extraordinary promise of American young people